The Church of St Mary and St Hardolph is at Breedon on the Hill in Leicestershire, and it stands alone on a high mound inside an ancient hill fort, the village being at the foot of the hill. Breedon Hill is said to be a weird and uncanny place. From days long past, rumours of unnatural traditions hung around the peak. The hill is so steep on the village side that a car can only ascend by taking a roundabout, indirect and lengthy route, and even the footpath winds considerably. It's been a place of refuge from ancient times, but as the ages passed, the place became solitary, even desolate. And I guess due to this solitude, the monks found it a haven of peace. Now, according to legend, the monks did not seek to place a cell on top of the hill. They attempted to build it at the foot. But the morning after the first day of building, the recluses were either astonished or dismayed to find that their foundations had been dug up and the bricks laid out on the summit of the hill. Each one accused the other, and they thought it was some kind of sick joke or a silly trick, and they again attempted to build it at the bottom of the hill. But every day the same thing happened. The bricks were carried up the steep decline each night. So, in desperation, the monks sought advice from a local mystic. I guess their natural assumption was that evil was going on up there and the Prince of Darkness was at work. This mystic, however, knew better. He explained that what they saw was a miracle. The monks were clearly being encouraged to look heavenwards. And they said an angel of the Lord had intervened in their work, so the monks took the hint, and so they built it at the summit of Breedon. Now, there's more than one supernatural legend that lingers about Breedon. Apparently, on the north side of the hill is a field in which there's an entry to a cavern which is said to run under the hill, and it's called Hobb's Hole. A hob is a small, often hairy, mischievous household spirit or entity. It's from English folklore, particularly the Yorkshire Moors and the Peak District. And they're known for performing chores at night, similar to brownies and bogarts. They're generally helpful, but can become temperamental and malicious if offended. I found a story in an old book of a local landlord from a local tavern, and he was preparing for the next day, as he did every night, and he laid out all the necessary utensils, and everything was in readiness before the landlord retired for bed. But sadly, one night, a maid who was aiding the landlord left a cheap linen apron instead of a proper one, what they usually used, and the nocturnal visitor, the hob, took offence when it arrived to do his own chores for the patron, and he never again favoured the inn with his services, and they lost business. Now, apparently Hobb's Hole is still marked on maps, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Apparently it's northwest of Squirrel Lane, which I found. But the area's been nibbled away by quarrying. There are a few more ghostly sightings and stories of Breedon and the church, like ghostly mists and shadowy men carrying large scythes that have been seen around the grounds. But there's not a lot of detail. Now, outside of the churchyard has a lot of 18th century slate headstones, which although they are sombre black, but they're pretty weatherproof, and the decoration on them is still legible after hundreds of years. And this one's a curiosity. Glad I managed to spot this one. It's the grave of the 4th Earl Ferrers, and it's his bookkeeper, Mr. Johnson, who was shot by his master in a fit of rage, and his lordship was subsequently tried and hung in 1760. Now, there are other notable graves in Breedon, one being the family plot of the White family. I'm hoping this picture's the right one. And they're notorious for being the kinsman of Wyatt Earp of a tombstone, where he became the famous sheriff who dealt with the cowboy gangs at the OK Corral. Just as I was leaving, I thought I'd stop and have a look at this, what's described as a Norman-style war memorial in Breedon on the Hill. It was constructed in 1921 with local stone by local men for a local village to commemorate fallen friends. And it's supposed to take inspiration from other buildings in the village. Now, moving on to more secular construction, we've got the gateway. It was a centrepiece of a rockery, one of a number built by the owners of the quarry to beautify the village. A prominent MD of the quarry in 1959 said that providing good houses for workers and ornamenting the village was making a return for despoiling the rock that gave the village its name. Bit patronising, don't you think? Too little, too late. Breedon also has this circular stone-built village lockup, or blind house. Yeah, they called that because when they close it, it's very dark inside, and the little light that gets in is by the iron grate on the door. It was built in 1793, similar to the one in nearby village of Worthington, and it's for the detention of offenders, drunkards, until they could be removed to the town prison. It was last used in 1885. And curiously, this wall next to it is a pinfold or pound adjacent to the lockup, and it was used to keep stray animals until they were claimed. It's like a herb garden there.